Today we'll be dissecting a copy written by the best copywriter in the world now, Stefan Georgi. And this is a copy he wrote for a stem cell bee. So the leading sentence of the copy said, like a time capsule in a bottle. So with this leading sentence, like what he did with this leading sentence is different from the popular belief that your leading sentence should build credibility for yourself or for the product. And if it's not doing that, then you should call out your target audience. Like with this leading sentence, it's just trying to talk about something that this audience can relate with, like a time capsule in a bottle. I think in America, they have this thing they do when they were kid, by putting some paper in a bottle. They do call it time capsule. So with this, he wants them to go back in time. He wants them to go back in time to think about what they've done in the past. Then the headline starts with new stem cell breakthrough doesn't just pause the aging process, it rewinds it. So new stem cell breakthrough, like when this thing is new, like this thing is new. And when you use new in your headline, like it's always intriguing. Like people want to know what's new. People don't want to be left out, they want to be carried along with anything that is new. Breakthrough, then you add breakthrough, like when you see breakthrough, like this thing is something like it's new, then it's also a breakthrough, it's something that I have to be part of. Doesn't just pause the aging process, it rewinds it. So doesn't just pause the aging process, it rewinds it. This is the primary promise of this headline, like this is the primary promise of this whole copy. Like we are going to rewind your aging process. And when you see aging process, you will know that it's targeted at people like people that are 50 years above. Like these guys, they are aging already. So they need something to stop their aging process. So it's not targeted at a young guy or a young woman. Imagine going back in time to when you were the healthiest, sharpest, most radiant version of yourself, then staying that way for the rest of your life. This is more like future pacing. Like this thing is it's future pacing, but the normal future pacing is you telling them what will happen to them in the future. But this one is telling them what will happen to them in the future, which is similar to what they've passed through before. Like every one of these guys, they have a time in their life where they were LDS, sharpest and most radiant. But now because they are old now, they are aging. So it stopped being that way. So it's telling them that they are going to go back into that time. This is also a big promise. Like this is a big promise. Someone telling, like, imagine someone telling a 60-year-old man or 70-year-old woman that you are going to go back in time to when you were the LDS, sharpest, and most radiant version of yourself. Then he said it's not science fiction, it's the power of stem cell science. So the next thing going on in their mind, the process mind would be, hope this is not one of those fiction that you come up with in science. Then he quench and smash the objections immediately. Like the objection immediately that it's not science fiction, it's the power of stem cell science. So it's possible that the audience, that the prospect, they might not know what this stem cell science is. And if they know what it is, then they'll say, wow, so it's stem cell science, it's not science fiction. Keep reading this report to see why experts believe this is the closest we will ever get to a real life fountain of youth. So like this is also a claim. This is also a claim. He said why expert. So when he said the expert, he used the expert there to build credibility. Like experts believe this is the closest we ever get to a real life fountain of youth. It's a claim, but he added a little bit of disclaimer in the claim. He said this is the closest. He didn't say this is similar to real life fountain of youth, or saying that this is real life fountain of youth. Like he had a little bit of disclaimer by telling them that it is the closest. Plus the remarkable story of how 22 Nobel Prize winning scientists came together to get this discovery to the public is one of like this is the biggest credibility. Like for these guys, 22 of them to come together. Like we all know that all these guys, are guys that all they are scientists that are very, very crazy. Like for them to win this prize, like for them to win that award for being called a Nobel Prize winning, that they are crazy scientists. So 22 of them coming together to get this discovery to the public. Like this is the craziest and the biggest credibility that you can build for this product. And why even though A-list celebrities and world-class athletes demand access to this youth preserving breakthrough at any cost, The latest science has discovered a breakthrough new way to naturally restore stem cell science, naturally restore stem cells for only pennies a day. So, another thing he did with this is this. He said A-list celebrities and world-class athletes demand access to this youth-preserving breakthrough. Like for these guys, the A-list celebrities and world-class athletes to demand access to this stuff he wants to reveal to you. Then this stuff is a stuff that you don't want to miss. And this guy, something they are demanding access for, it's going to be something that is very, very expensive. Like an ordinary person can't afford it. That might be what is going on in the mind of the prospect when they are reading this. Then he break it by telling them that you are going to get it. Like there has been another way, like we discovered another way, another new way, which can help you to naturally restore your stem cells for only pennies a day. So you'll be like, wow, so this thing too, I can get it. Like the prospect will be like, this is something that I want to, like I can get it since it's only pennies a day. It is not expensive. Dear friend, did you ever bury a time capsule as a kid? If you were to dig it up today, you would find a snapshot of what your life was like when you were young. Well, what I want to tell you about today is being referred to by many health experts as a time capsule in a bottle. So, did you ever bury a time capsule as a kid? Like, this is also one thing. Like, I said it earlier that the leading sentence, he used the leading sentence to take them back in time to what they did when they were young. So he's asking the question again, like, did you ever bury a time capsule? Like, if the prospect reading this done something similar to it when he or she was young, so they feel like, yeah, this is something that I did when I was young. So they'll be so they'll have this reminiscence of when they were young, like when they were still a kid, something they did then. So like it take them back in time. It wants them to remember what they did when they were young. It's also said it's been referred to by many health experts as a time capsule in a bottle because it represents the latest breakthrough in ethical stem cell science. So something that comes in the form of a single, tiny, and easy to swallow pill. And one thing you are targeting this copy, they are targeting old guys with it. And these guys they are always careful with what they eat, what they take. That's why I said ethical stem cell science. Like this thing doesn't go against moral, it doesn't go against ethics. So this is something that you can use and you won't have to blame yourself for going against the normal moral and ethics. Something that comes in the form of a single tiny and easy to swallow pill. Like it's making it easy, like showing them that this thing is easy, it is convenient. You won't have to take some pump, go through some surgery or do all those hard stuff before you get it. And each time you take one of these little time capsules, it sends your body on a journey back in time so that you start to look and feel like you did when you were young. In fact, right now, even as you read this, people across the world are tapping into the newest advances in stem cell science and they are surprised to discover that it sends your body back in time on a journey back in time. So you start to look like you feel like and feel like you did when you were young. In fact, right now, even as you read this, people across the world are tapping into the newest advances in stem cell science. So this is more like a proof, like you telling them like a lot of people are doing it. This is something everyone around the world are doing. So you're not the first person to do it. So it's a proof. They are surprised to discover that aching, screaming joints are suddenly soothed and calmed as the pain they've dealt with for years vanishes before their eyes. First, physically, they become the very picture of youth with dewy, radiant, permanently glowing skin. They often experience the elimination of wrinkles around their eyes, under their chin, on the sides of their mouths. Like all these are benefits. Like these are benefits. Showing you, but he's not saying it like this is what you are going to gain. He's telling you like this is what these guys that have been using it are gaining. So if this seems like what you want to, this is for you. This is benefit. And while these changes to their physical appearance may seem astounding, they barely scratch the surface of what the latest advances in stem cell science can do. So you see, all these benefits are great one already for people that are suffering, that for people that are aging and they want to reverse their growth. their age, their aging process. Like these are great benefit for them. Then he said, this is all this, like all this might seem astounding, but what this stem cell science can do is more than this. You see, the reason why stem cells are considered the most important anti-aging breakthrough in all of science and medicine is because these miraculous little cells are a blank slate. A blank slate. Like this is more like he's using metaphor, like he's trying to relate it to, he's trying to use it with something or his audience can relate with. Let's search for what blank slate is. Blank slate. Okay. So it means someone or something that is still in an original state and that has not yet been changed. Okay, okay. So I think we'll get the concept behind that now. So he said it's like a blank slate. Then it means like something that has not been tampered with. They can travel virtually anywhere in your body where there has been damage, then immediately start to help repair that damage. And the most beautiful thing about stem cells is that they don't care how or why that damage happened in the first place, or they don't care if your heart is weak due to a lifetime of bad habits like an unhealthy diet or smoking, or if your skin is wrinkled and covered with dark spots because you never wore sunscreen as a kid, or if old age has worn your joint to the bone with no cartilage left, or if your high blood sugar or failing kidneys are something genetic that you were unlucky enough to be born with. Like all these things are beliefs, like the beliefs the prospect have, and this belief might be holding them back. Like they will be like, guy, my heart is weak because I've been eating unhealthy food and I've been smoking. That's why I don't think this stem cell can work for me. Then it's telling them it's going to work. Like they don't care how you how your aging process was before. It's going to work. The only thing they care about is just to help you reverse your aging process. These are the beliefs the prospects have, like that might be holding them back from taking action. Like their skin, my skin is very cool and covered with dark spots. I'm sure this thing is going to work. My old age has worn out my joints to the bone with no cartilage left. Are you still sure this thing is going to work? Like all these are the beliefs they have that might be holding them back. So he's telling them like it doesn't matter. Like even if your heart is weak due to a lifetime of bad habits, it's going to work for you. Stem cells don't care about anything except making you better. And once your body is flooded with an endless ocean of powerful healing stem cells, you can begin to undo decades of damage in the time it takes to snap your fingers. So these are also this is also a metaphor. Like with in the time it takes to snap your finger, like snapping a finger, this thing starts to work. It work immediately. So instead of telling you like it work immediately, that might not that might not be active enough. Like that might not bring the drama he wants to like the drama he wants the prospect to envision, like the vision he wants them to get. That's why I said it takes to snap your finger. So it means this thing work easily and faster. Physically rejuvenate every organ inside your body, including your heart, your brain, your kidneys, your liver, your colon, and more. And refresh virtually every cell that makes up your skin, your joints, and your cartilage too. What all of this means is you don't just do your looks a big favor. The cells inside your body become physically younger too, which is why in the past decade. So like he's explaining how stem cell is. Like he explained how stem cell is, what stem cell is, and how it works. So that's what he has done in this section. And move on, this is another sub headline. Hollywood A-listers, world famous athletes, and Silicon Valley billionaires have all become obsessed with stem cell therapy. You know, he said it earlier that all these A-list celebrities and world famous athletes, like they want this, like they want to get it at all costs. Then he's telling you like maybe you want to explain how it is. You want to explain how it's related to all these world famous athletes so that they don't just continue to grow richer, they grow younger too. And while the ultra rich have been shelling out $100,000 or more for stem cell treatment, which is a price they are glad to pay since it's as close as you can get to drinking from the real life fountain of youth. Today, inside this highly controversial report, I'm going to share how an incidental discovery by six University of South Florida scientists. So this, you know, This place when he said the ultra rich have been shelling out $100,000 or more. Like he's making like he's doing this price anchoring of his stuff, like he's doing this price anchoring stuff. Yeah, but he's not doing it openly. For this something he wants to show to you. And this thing people have been paying $100,000 for it. So later when he reveal his price, you won't be surprised because you like this thing worth it. Like something people have been paying $100,000 for. So he's building the value, like he's raising the value of this stem cell thing. He's raising it so high for you to know that this thing is not something you can just take with everything and it's working. And people have been paying a lot of crazy amount of money for it. Then he said, which is the price they are glad to pay. And so then he's also backing up the claim, like it's more like a claim, telling me 100,000 people are 100,000 people are paying $100,000 for this. Then he back it up like they are glad to pay itself. Like it's not that they are paying it sadly, they are not happy to pay it, that they are glad to pay it since it's as close as they can get to drinking from the real life fountain of youth. Today, inside this highly controversial report, later in the copy, he mentioned some things that are controversial. So he's telling you now that this report is highly controversial. I'm going to share how an incidental discovery by six University of South Florida scientists. But also an this is also another credibility, like it's building credibility. Like this thing involves scientists. This is not something that I just make up somewhere. Like this involves scientists. Scientists are involved in these things. Scientists are aware about it. It's building credibility for it. That happened nearly 13 years ago to the day. Has made it possible for anyone to finally enjoy the benefit of ethical stem cell science. If you notice, he keep mentioning this ethical. Like he doesn't want you guys to feel like this thing his prospect to feel like this thing is something that goes against your moral or ethics. Like it's telling you it doesn't go against your moral or ethics. Like this is something if you use, it doesn't have any problem. But just pennies on the dollar. I keep saying ethical stem cell science because what I will be sharing with you today has nothing to do with embryos or abortion. I think when the stem cell science first when they first discovered stem cell science, like scientists do use embryos or abortions related to something related to that for this stem cell science stuff. But later they later discovered another way to do it without using these embryos. That's why he's saying like that's why he keeps saying ethical, like he's explaining why he keeps saying ethical stem cell science. But instead with something called adult repair stem cells, which are already inside of your body right now, just waiting to be activated, multiplied so they can go to work healing you. And I will show you exactly how to activate and increase your body's natural supply of adult repair stem cells right inside this letter. These are hook. Like he's hooking them. I tell you that this is what you are going to get. Now, if all of this sounds widely sensational, I agree, this is sensational. In fact, it is mind-boggling. Just yet, because something sensational doesn't mean it's not true. If a 60-year-old man is hearing this for the first time, like I'm going to go back to when I was the healthiest and sharpest part of me. This is something that is sensational. It seems too good to be true to them. So it's what's it called? So it's confirming their belief, like the belief they have at the moment, like this thing is too good to be true. Telling them like it's sensational. Yes, I agree. But because it is sensational doesn't mean it's not true. And as you are going to see in the next 5 minutes, like it break another objection. Like when they are reading this, this thing is too good to be true. It's not true. Let me just move on. So it's telling you that just because it's too good to be true doesn't mean it's not true. Like it's true. The stem cell breakthrough I'm sharing with you is backed by the findings of an unprecedented group of 22 Nobel Prize winning scientists. This proof again, like this is credibility to show you that there are guys that are backing this thing up. To show you there are guys that are backing this thing up. The stem cell breakthrough I'm sharing with you is backed by the findings of an unprecedented group of 22 Nobel Prize winning scientists. This is the biggest credibility he has built so far with this. A diverse group of geniuses who are so stubborn in their opinions, they often have trouble agreeing on what temperature is outside. Like this is something we all know. Like all these scientists, like these top guys, all these top scientists, they are very stubborn with their own opinion. So for these guys, like even sometimes they don't agree with themselves. So for these times to come together, for these guys to come together and tell us something about this, it means this thing is real, like this thing is legit, it is true, that it's the complete fact. But who joined forces in a desperate effort to get the newest advancements in stem cell science to the American public. You will hear more about these Nobel Prize winners and their heroic efforts in just a few moments from now. Plus, like another hook, there's something for you to get. Plus, you will also see how a new stem cell therapy helped one of the most famous NHL players of all time recover from a severe stroke and extend his life by years, along with how the most winning PGA golfer of all time used the miracle of stem cells to heal his back pain at the age of 86, even though he had suffered since he was 19. Like all these things are open loop. Like these are what you are going to get if you continue reading. Like these things, they are going to, all these things, the way he's saying it, he's wetting and waking, he's awakening the curious cat in his prospect. Like everyone are curious. They want to know how this thing is, how it works. They want to know how it help this NHL player. They want to know how it will help this winning PGA golfer. Like they want to know all these things. So he opened the loop. It's a story he shared at the, but and apart from being that, it's all these are big claim, like they are huge claim. He must use a proof to back all these things up to make it more believable. So let's get into it to know whether I use the proof or not. I'm sure he's going to use it because Stefan Georgia is a great copywriter. It's a story he shared at the Vatican last year to an audience that included Tony Pope, um, Tony Robbins, Katy Perry, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and the Pope himself. Like, like he built, like he's using the PGA golfer to build credibility, like he's using the story to build credibility for stem cell science. But he's not using Tony Robbins, Katy Perry, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and Pope. Like he's using all these guys to build credibility for the golfer. Like this guy, for all these guys to be there, he's not telling lie. This this is an event that is real. Like we are not making this thing up just to sell to you. He's using the PGA golfer to build credibility for his product. He's now using all these top guys to build credibility for the PGA golfer. All of these and more in just a few moments from now. Another hook. But before I tell you exactly what this time capsule in a bottle is and how it works, it's important that I do warn you. There are many in the scientific community who hate me for sharing the information inside these reports. He wants to get into his common enemy now. Like he wants to get into his common enemy. I don't make that statement to be dramatic or self-important or anything like that. It's the stone cold truth. So like when you hear this, like this is something we've been hearing. Like a lot. This is not something new to the prospect again. Like all these copy, like these guys, they are they've got the gimmicks behind this copy thing. Like you know that you are just being dramatic or you are just trying to make it seems like you are this guy that is important. But he brings the objection by telling you, no, I'm not being dramatic. And I'm not trying to be self-important. Like this is just something that is true. And the reason why is because if you are one of the millions of Americans who is 55 plus and whose body and mind is starting to break down, these newest advancements in stem cell science won't just support your body against the clock of father time. It could also mean billions of dollars in lost money to health insurers, drug companies for profit medicine, nursing homes, funeral parlors, and everyone else who planned on getting rich off your old age. So like these guys, they are like all the guys they don't want you to know this, that there are plenty, there are much. So which is why I'm making a lot of enemies by publishing this information online. And why you are ready to not just pause the aging process, but to actually rewind it. It's crucial you read this report in its entirety right now while it's still available on the web. So he's using the common enemy. Like he's using the common enemy to make you to feel like this guy is just going against all odds to get this across to us, to get this information across to us. So I want you to read everything on this page. Then he's also using it to like a form of scarcity. Like it is possible that these guys might get it out of this web, like they might get this page away from the website by telling like where it's still available on the web. So he used this common enemy to do a lot of things. Like he used the common enemy like to add scarcity, to make you like to add urgency. Like he wants you to read this thing. He doesn't want you to shut it down and say you get back to it. He wants you to read it now. Another thing he wants you like he's also using it to make you read everything on this page. He doesn't want you to skim. Like he doesn't want all these skim readers to read it. why I'm taking a big risk to bring the public this urgent message. Like why? Why are you doing this? Why are you going against all these top guys just to bring me this message? Like why? Then he wants to tell you why now. And with this reason, he's going to get into the guru introduction, like introduction of the guru. My name is Lee Wheeler. I'm the executive director of the Alternative Cancer Research Institute, a best-selling author and a frequent contributor to numerous health and wellness publications. I've been a successful publisher of health periodicals and books for more than 20 plus years. I produced the hit documentary series Awakening from Alzheimer's, and I have worked with numerous renowned doctors and medical institutions like Julian Whittaker, David Williams, William Campbell Douglas, and the Health Sciences Institute. It's fair to say that I've dedicated much of my adult life to scientific research and specifically to the field of anti aging. And for me, this obsession with understanding the aging process and how to stop it, well, it's personal. So he introduced the guru now. Like the guru is the name of the guru is Liwila. He builds credibility for him by telling you all the things the guy has done. So to show like this guy is an expert. Like, he's not just one he's not just one quack. All those gurus that don't know what they are saying. Like this guy is an expert. You know what they are saying. Like what he's saying. For someone to have done all these things, like he's an expert. Then he moved into telling you the back end story, like how it started. I watched as my mother spent her so-called golden years in the dark red hell of age-related decline. Like many older Americans, my mother's mind and body were growing weaker with each passing year, and it wasn't long until mom was unable to care for herself. She couldn't complete even simple tasks on her own, and she was a shell of her former self, both mentally and physically. Every doctor my mom saw said the same thing, that my mom was old and that my mom was old, that her decline was a fact of life, and that there was nothing we could do. Eventually mom died, and if I'm being honest, she had been dead inside long before her last breath. A victim of old age, someone who had become bitter, unhappy, and in pain. After my mom's death, I went through a period of intense reflection and soul searching. I was already a successful publisher at this point. I had some money, I was well respected. I could even say renowned as a writer. Yet, what good was the money, the respect, or the fame if I was still powerless to help protect the people I loved the most? So, like the back end story, like he's in the back end story, he said he has once been in your shoe, like he was once in your shoe, um, but his like the problem he faced then was severe because his mom later died. So that was what make him to take action. That was what pushed him into creating this what's it called, this awareness, into creating the product he's going to sell to you. So he's trying like, and towards the end of the story, he said, "Yet what good was the money, the respect, or the fame?" Like, it's telling you, like, even if you are rich and even if you have money, like, if you still can't save yourself from this old age, then it means your money is useless. So I began to pull all of my money, time, and resources towards one goal and one goal only: to help advance the field of anti-aging as much as humanly possible. See, while it was too late for me to do something for my mom, I was determined to help others avoid their fates by restoring their quality of life and adding years back to their lives. With my new mission in hand, I began investigating every single anti-aging breakthrough that surfaced, from antioxidants to telomeres, which are tiny little chains inside each of our cells that have been linked to anti-aging. So you see, like he's telling you, he's now making it seems like after his mom died, like he wants to help a lot of people. Like he wants to help a lot of people. He has lost his mom, but it doesn't stop there. Like he wants to help other people too. So with this, he's making you feel like indebted already. Like he's making you feel indebted for someone that is going out of his way to help others. Like he's making you feel indebted. You just want to read to the end to know what happened, like what's going on, what is the result of this guy's research and investigation. The research I did on telomeres has reached thousands worldwide, and for a long while I thought that telomeres were actually the answers to our aging problem. Over time, however, I started realizing that telomeres were just one piece of the solution, and that if I wanted to truly understand the aging process, I needed to look at the entire cell, not just one part of it. This is it. He did something subtly here. Most of the anti-aging products out there, like what they are attacking is these telomeres. So it's telling you like if you want to get to the root of this aging process, like if you want to get to the root of it, you don't have to face telomeres alone. Like you have to face the entire cell. But he's not saying it openly, like, but that's what he did. Which is why 2 years ago I became obsessed with stem cells. Breakthrough stem cell study offers new clues to reversing aging. Report on Albert Einstein College of Medicine study. The findings represent a breakthrough in aging research. Harvard Medical School treated groups had remarkable improvement. Journal of Gerontology. And so all these ones you said they're like these are proof to back up his claims. Now, you've probably heard about stem cells already, especially since today. There is almost universal consensus in the scientific community that stem cells are the future of medicine. And for the handful of folks lucky enough to have been treated with stem cell therapies already, the results are nothing short of a miracle. New stem cell treatment are striking anti-aging results. The research team found the improvement to be remarkable. Futurism. That's what is using proof, like you're using proof now. By and the proofs are like the quotes, the studies done by universities, and the quotes made by all these important figures. But what exactly are stem cells, and why are they considered the single most important key to living a longer, healthier, and more energized life? No, he explained it briefly earlier what stem cells is and how stem cells work. So it's going into explaining what stem cell is deeply now. I want to explain stem cell deeply now. There are roughly 300 million cells in the human body. Almost all of them are stuck performing a single role. So, for example, you have heart cells, brain cells, blood cells, bone cells, kidney cells, and so on. And once a cell has been assigned a role, it can never do anything else. In other words, a heart cell can never become a brain cell, and a bone cell can never become a colon cell. It just doesn't work that way, this way. But adult repair stem cells are different. Each of us is born with a precious stockpile of these miraculous little cells. And unlike most of your cells, which are stuck performing one role only, your adult repair stem cells are unable to transform into almost any type of cell that your body needs. Now, why is this ability important? Like he's explaining how it works, like how this stem cell work. He's explaining it fully now. So and over time, ongoing damage to your cells can have serious consequences. Damage heart, like what's this thing like if you don't take care of it, what's going to lead to? Like, it's going to lead to heart attack or stroke, Alzheimer's or dementia, osteoporosis or arthritis, kidney disease, premature aging, wrinkles and lines. The list go on and on. Like there is still more. There's still a lot of things that can happen to you if your cells is damaged. Now when you are young, your body is able to disperse most of this damage. And it's thanks to the precious stockpile of miraculous adult repair stem cells that are inside you. Think about a heart attack, for example. It's virtually unheard of for a young person to have a heart attack. Why? Because if your heart cells experience damage when you are young, your body simply activates some of your stockpiled adult repair stem cells. Then they travel to your heart where they are transformed into new healthy heart cells that replace your damaged cells. So this God gifted supply of adult repair stem cells inside each of us, it's like your body insurance against premature aging. It's what keeps your skin, your joints, your brain, your bladder, your lungs, really your entire body in pristine. Excellent excellent health during the days of your youth. One of the biggest reasons why you don't hear about 13-year-old having heart attacks or see 9-year-olds with dim freckles around their eyes or read about 30-year-olds having Alzheimer's disease. And so this what he's doing here is this. He did a lot of things here. So but I'll try to explain some of what he did here and get into his thought process. He did a lot of things like he's explaining how these things work. So tagging it with, he said it earlier that these cells are already in your body, like you just need to activate it. Then it's telling you how it is. Like these stem cells, although they are already in your body, because you are now old, they too they have become old. So he's now explaining like it's on here, it's something you cannot hear, that a young guy having a 13-year-old having heart attack, or see a year old guy having deep wrinkles, or read about 30-year-old having Alzheimer's disease. So he's explaining like he's getting into it. Then from that part, he gets into telling you what is likely to happen to you. By the time your bad your damaged cells, brain cells can lead to Alzheimer or dementia. Telling you your damaged bone cells can lead to joint pain and arthritis. Like he's doing a lot of things with this section, because as long as your body is filled with special anti-aging adult repair stem cells, you heal very quickly. You are filled with boundless energy and life is good. So it's it's like the primary promise of this is like you are going to go back in time to when you were young. So it's telling you like all these things are what the young guys are experiencing, and you too, the prospect have experienced it before too. Like they've experienced it. They were once they are LDS, they were strong then, like they were stronger compared to how they were now. So it's telling you like these are the things young guys are experiencing. Now here is the problem: as we age, our stem cells age too. It's telling you like stem cells to age. When you are aging, your stem cells that helps to repair your damaged cells, they are aging too. Stem cell aging and exhaustion are considered important drives of organismal aging. Understanding the mechanism underlying these changes will likely reveal novel therapeutic targets for prolonging human health span. So this is a proof to back up his claim that stem cells age as you age too. This proof is from the Journal of Cell Metabolism 2017. And what scientists are now realizing is that old age and old stem cells are pretty much the same thing. In other words, the reason that your skin begins to wrinkle and sag, that your energy saps and drains, that your joints creak and ache, and that your vision grows blurry and weak is all due to the same thing, to the same single culprit. Your adult repair stem cells are getting old. Why are aging adult stem cells a problem? So he has tell you that the more as you are growing, your stem cells too are growing. So as you are getting old, these stem cells too are getting old. So now he wants to explain why stem cells are getting old. Like why stem cell getting old is causing blurry vision, joint ache, energy saps and drain, and all these stuff, all these symptoms the prospect might be experiencing at the moment. There are two main reasons why you're tired old stem cells are putting your body into decline. We are going to quickly cover both of them inside this report, because once you understand why aging adult repair stem cells are so dangerous to your health, you will also be able to understand exactly why that was needed to fix this problem, so that you can ensure you live the longest, healthiest, and most energy filled life possible. So reason number one, your adult repair stem cells grow dysfunctional as they age. Up until a few years ago, it was thought that adult repair stem cells don't change. But in 2014, Dr. Ellen Bleo and her colleagues at the Stanford University School of Medicine made a startling discovery. Another proof. So this is a picture of the doctors that did the research to that where they find out that as you age, your stem cells are aging. Reason number two, over time your body loses its ability to release adult repair stem cells. So then, your body is these adult repair stem cells are produced by your body. So when you are aging, like the body is aging, the body doesn't have that ability to produce all these things again. These are another proof. According to Dr. Mont Slater, medical doctor, MD, a double board certified doctor, and Navy medical doctor who has spent decades at the forefront of stem cell research. Another credibility to back up the claim that your body loses the ability to release adult repair stem cells. Like it's from a medical doctor. So it is another is explaining why. This doesn't just explain why the body heals slower as we age. It explains why we age. Period. Remember, adult repair stem cells exist in your body for one purpose only: to heal your skin, your bones, your cartilage, your organs, and everything else, so that you can keep living a healthy and happy life. Once you get into your 60s and beyond, and you are left with nothing but a dwindling number of old, tired, dysfunctional stem cells, that's when aging happens. and it can happen strikingly fast. So he's telling me when you get into your 60, like he's I even noticed like he's calling out his audience subtly. I telling you 55, 60. Then these are the guys that I'm targeting. If you know you're not 50, you're not 60, you don't have someone that is 50 or 60, then I don't know what you are still doing here. It can happen strikingly fast. So it's with this, it's also scaring them a little bit by telling them like if you are 60, yeah, all these things might happen to you. Like you'll be aging fastly, like this your aging process will be striking fast. Have you ever been shocked by how a friend or loved one seems to just grow old overnight? This is a question. Like this question is going to trigger something in the reader's brain, the prospect brain. Like, yeah, I have a friend that suddenly this guy just started growing old. I don't know what caused it. Like that's something that's going to trigger in your brain. That's how it was for my mom, for my mother. It seems like one year she was a chatty, happy, energetic self, and in the wink of an eye, she was falling apart. With constant visits to the doctor, a laundry list of medications, joints that shouted bloody murder. Every time she bent down or unscrewed a jar, and a fog wrapped brain that just wasn't all there. It was horrible to watch. No, he talked about the story of his mom then earlier. So he's also telling us the story again. And this time he's making it more visionable. Like the prospects are able to vision it. Like so this thing is possible. And you know he asked the question with this subheadline, right? Have you ever been shocked by how a friend like he has put them into this state of mind where they are thinking about a friend or a family that was once in that shoe. Then it started talking about his mom and he explaining it in a more visionable way that his mom was once like this, was once like that. She was able to do this, she was able to do that. Then suddenly, all of a sudden, things just started falling apart. Like she has, and one thing about all these old people, this is true. Like they always visit the doctor constantly. They have this laundry list of medication, joints that shouted. Like, these are things that you are experiencing at the moment, or you are going to experience very soon. And you might even have someone close to you that has experienced this, and you know. So you are visioning everything. Like this, all these things are going on in your mind. It has triggered that crazy emotion in the mind of the prospect. And they are feeling different things at the moment. It was horrible to watch, yet I bet you know someone who has experienced this same thing. And watching the people you love dearly fall apart right in front of you. It's a gut wrenching experience that none of us should have to suffer through. So is it any wonder that doctors and celebrities alike are so obsessed with stem cells? No, he has explained everything about stem cells for you. He has explained how it works, what it do, and its function, everything about it. Like so, he's now acting like he said it earlier that doctors and celebrities are obsessed. So he's now acting like why are they obsessed? Like is it any wonder that these guys are obsessed? So you know the reason why they are obsessed now. So if like yeah, it's worth it. They have to be obsessed about this thing. These folks realize the same thing. If we can stop our adult repair stem cells from growing dysfunctional with old age and start getting our bodies to produce more healthy adult repair stem cells later in life, then it could also mean expanding the human health span by decades. In other words, what both celebrities and scientists know that the rest of us might not realize is that the promise of adult repair stem cells is the promise of never again needing to say goodbye to the ones you love, or at least putting it off for many decades. And so he's talking about he's still talking about stem cell. He hasn't even gone into the product revelation or talk about unique mechanism and all the rest. Like he's still talking about the stem cell here. He's talking about the stem cell and the benefit of stem cell, how stem cell work. So this way he said you won't have to say goodbye. Like it seems like this huge claim. Then he said, or at least putting it off. Like we all know we are going to die one day. But you won't have to say goodbye immediately. Like it won't be that fast. You will be able to put it off for many decades before you say goodbye to your loved ones that are old. Stem cells are the holy grail of youthful aging, which is why scientists have spent decades studying them. At first, they will focus on embryonic stem cells. You know, I said it earlier that before when they discovered this thing, like they always use embryo because those kind of stem cells embryos. The idea of embryonic stem cells is immoral and sickening to a great number of Americans. So in the 1990s and early 2000s, scientists began turning their attention towards adult repair stem cells, like the ones I've been telling you about today. Initially, scientists didn't think that adult repair stem cells would be as promising as embryonic ones. But as they conducted more research, experts were shocked to find that adult repair stem cells can be just as exciting as embryonic ones and can heal much of our body, including our kidneys, brain, heart, bone marrow, periodontal ligament, mouth, cartilage, joints and more. The discovery that adult repair stem cells are so powerful sent shockwaves across the scientific community. And so he's telling like he's explaining how all these things like how the discovery of this adult repair stem cells, how they discovered it. He's talking about stem cell as a whole now. He hasn't even gotten into his product. Like he hasn't gotten into the product evaluation, unique mechanism of the unique mechanism of the solution of the product, unique mechanism of the problem of the product. Like he hasn't even got into that. Not to talk of getting into his offer. And he's still explaining about stem cell now. 22 Nobel Prize winning scientists joined forces with hundreds of A-list celebrities with the goal of getting Californians to approve billions of dollars in stem cell therapy research. Brad Pitt, Michael J. Fox, Dustin Hoffman, Larry King, Dick Van Dyke, former First Lady Nancy Reagan, famed movie produced Jerry Zucker, along with those 22 like this is all this section like this. He has moved from telling us about stem cell, the function and all. He's not telling us like he's not building credibility for stem cell science now. Like he's building credibility for stem cell science by telling us that all these celebrities, like all these guys, they joined hands with all the 22 Nobel Prize winners. And if you know who all these guys is, Brad Pitt, Michael J. Fox, Dustin Hoffman, like these guys are top guys, like they are celebrities, like people that are famous. So he's not lying with this, he's building credibility, crazy credibility. They all campaigned around the clock, and ultimately their efforts paid off. In 2004, California passed what was known as Prop 71, which sets aside $3 billion for stem cell research. And while progress was initially slowed down by lawsuits and government red tape, in the past 15 years since Prop 71 was approved, the breakthrough of stem cell science has come a remarkably long way. At UCLA, a doctors are using stem cells to cure a rare immune deficiency disease. At Stanford, studies are showing that stem cells like so after building credibility, he also has something like California also passed the law known as Prop 71. Like this is something like government too, like government are interested in it. So this is something you don't want to miss out on. Like for government too to be interested in it and for them to set 3 billion for the research, this thing is crazy stuff. Now he's now telling us the what they've used stem cell for in the past. At Stanford, studies are showing that stem cells deposited into the brain could restore movement and speech to people devastated by stroke. In San Francisco, cardiologist Deepak Srivastava is developing a stem cell therapy that he hopes will soon reverse the effect of a heart attack. At UC Irvine, scientist Henry Klassen's laboratory is conducting clinical trials testing a stem cell therapy for blindness. Like so all these things, it's telling you like this stem cell can work for immune deficiency disease, it can work for stroke, it can work for heart attack, it can work for blindness, like it can work for different things. It's moving on to tell us like it can work for different things and also showing proof. Like these are things that people have been doing, that these scientists and doctors have been doing. Like these are what they have been using these stem cells to do. And while wealthy Californians may have provided the initial spark, in the past decade, both public and private institutions all over the US have poured billions of dollars into new stem cell science, stem cell research. So, you said this thing started from California and California government are the ones that invest money on it. And I feel like, oh, this thing is for Californians alone, like they're the ones that pay attention to it, they pay attention and money with it for it. But it's telling you no, like Californians, they are just the like Californians are just the early testers, they are just the early adopters. Like in the past decade, like both public and private institutions all over the United States, like they have been pouring billions of dollars into this. So, like, and most of the guys they are targeting with these things are from US. They're like, okay, wow. So it's not for California alone, like it's for the whole US. Every time a new breakthrough happens, more money pours into stem cell research, which leads to even more breakthroughs. The rich and famous are ecstatic since they are the ones benefiting from all this. Like he's trying to pitch the rich people, like he's trying to pitch this thing against the rich people. Like they are ecstatic, like these same people they are happy, like they are like, and why is it? Because they are the only one benefiting from this thing. You know, he said it earlier that they are happy to pay $100,000 for this. So he's also telling you like they are happy, they are ecstatic. Why? Because they are the only one benefiting from this. It may not be fair, but it's true. We are living in a new golden age of stem cell science, and it's great. If you are one of the lucky few who is holding all of the gold, that's because right now the only folks who are really benefiting from the lightning fast advances in stem cells research are the rich and famous who don't mind shelling out up to $100,000 for stem cell treatment. Like you know, he has said it like you are going to get this thing for a penny. Now it's also telling you like it's also doing this price and current stuff. Telling you like the rich are happy, like they don't mind shelling out up to $100,000 for this stem cell treatment. That's one. Two, it's also making it to be it's building the credibility and like the value of the product. Like it's building it so high. I feel like this thing is this something that I want? It's making it scarce. Like it's making it scarce to you. Like for people to be paying this amount, I don't think I can get this thing. I don't think I can pay for this thing. I don't think I can benefit from this thing. Like it's making it that scarce. As early as 2014, Sports Illustrated reported that hundreds of NFL players have invested in the promise of stem cells in the past years. Yeah, yeah, this is proof. All these are proofs, proofs with images, proofs. Yet, why the list goes on and on. Like I have a lot of proof to back this up. I'm not just making this up. Yet, with the possibilities of adult repair stem cells are thrilling, it's also hard not to read all of this and wonder, is the future of stem cell therapy off limits to folks like us? No, I said this. Like the people they are targeting are not that rich. Like, they are not that rich. So it has made it scarce that this thing is not something you can get. But I'm going to bring it to you. Like he's doing one thing, he's doing two things there. Like it's not something you can get easily, but I'm going to give it to you. Because while the rich are fine with paying $100,000 a year for stem cell therapies that will keep them mobile, energized, and sharp as a tack. For most of us normal people, another thing he did here is this. He's telling you like I'm also part of you guys. So it's now a battle of us against them. Like I'm part of you guys. Like these rich people, like they are the enemy. They are the one experiencing this thing. They are the one benefiting from this thing. And they are doing it easily because they are rich. So they don't want us poor people, like us normal people, they don't want us to benefit from it. The ones who have spent our whole lives working hard to put food on the table for our families, who go to church, who honor our neighbors, who live by the good book. Are you telling me the rich people are not living by the good book? Are you telling me the rich people are not doing this? So it is a battle of us against them. So it's making it seems like this prospect and him are normal people. The rich people are not normal, like they are wicked. I think we are just as deserving of these miracles of stem cell science as the ultra rich are. And yet, up until now, the price tag has just made the promise of stem cells out of our reach. There has to be an easier way for people to experience the healing power of adult repair stem cells. That's the thought that kept crossing my mind. Ever since my mom died, I had devoted my life to researching anti-aging breakthroughs. Like adult repair stem cells, I was utterly convinced of their promise, but I was also utterly frustrated that they were only available to the wealthy elites. I thought about my mom's final years, the ones she spent suffering in a dark red hell of age-related decline, and it just didn't seem fair. I felt like there had to be another choice, and a different approach to the adult repair stem cells while not achieving the same result of costly injection stem cell therapies I've mentioned there. I still felt like there had to be something that could fundamentally change the way we experience the golden years of our life for the better without asking for our life savings in return. So he's trying to get into how we discovered like the discovery story of this of the product he wants to sell. So before that, He talks about the final year of his mom, like how things were difficult for her. So like all this, like he's trying to stacking up the value of the product before even revealing anything about it. He has stacked the value up so high, like when he revealed the product, the prospect will be like, wow, I just have to get this thing. Like this thing is, he has talked about the benefit, talked about what you are, the problem of not paying attention to your stem cell. Like he has talked about a lot of things. Now it's getting into the discovery story of the product. The long ignored South Florida study that could expand your lifespan by decades. So when I came across a rarely discussed scientific study from the University of South Florida showing that anyone can dramatically boost their levels of LD adult repair stem cells in just a few short weeks, I was both very excited and highly skeptical. So, this is something he wants, like he wants to do this thing, like he wants to discover this thing. Like you want to discover how to reverse aging process. Then you have discovered it. You are excited. I understand that you are excited because you discovered it. But why are you still skeptical? It's probably obvious why I was skeptical, why I was excited. But why was I so skeptical? I was skeptical because even though this study was performed by six of the top stem cell scientists in the world, like it built credibility with this thing. And I don't like this thing was performed by top stem cell scientists in the world. Even though it was published in the prestigious journal Stem Cells and Development, and even though it was filled with proof that you can naturally increase your body's levels of adult prepared stem cells, virtually nobody in the scientific community was talking about it. It just didn't make sense. Adult prepared, like what he's trying to do here is trying to get into, like he's trying to attack common enemy here. That's the plan behind it. So he's making it seems dramatic, like he wants you to vision this. So when he tell you like these are the people behind it, like these are the people that these are the people behind closing off or laying embargo on the news of this discovery. You feel like these people are bad people. These people are crazy. Like why would they be closing this discovery, this huge discovery from the public? This is what he's trying to do are the holy grail of aging backwards, and these scientists had found a way to get the body to produce flood of brand new, fully functional adult repair stem cells, which is like saying they had find a way to hit the pause button on aging. And this is the unique mechanism how you are going to how this thing work. Like it only pause the aging process. Except pause isn't the right word because new stem cells are basically like a rewind button for your body. So it's like this is the unique mechanism how it's going to do it, like rewinding your it just doesn't pause. Like it will rewind your aging process entirely. So why wasn't there discovery on the front page of every newspaper in America? I felt like I was missing something obvious here. And then one beautiful sunny day in late April, while I was out shopping for groceries, it all suddenly clicked. And I just had like it's being dramatic here. And I just had to laugh out loud. You see, here is what I finally realized. Inside this study I've been telling you about, the six scientists examined dozens of natural ingredients to see if any of them helped the body to produce more stem cells. And when I say natural ingredients, I'm talking about those so-called superfoods we often hear about, some of which are quite common, while others are really found in exotic locations overseas. What the six scientists found is that while many superfoods didn't have any effect on our stem cells at all, there were a small handful that did, and it wasn't just some tiny effect either. The scientists found that with the right combination of superfoods in the right amount, it was possible to increase your body's own production of adult repair stem cells naturally. So, of course, this research is being ignored. I like to myself. It proves that if you want your body to naturally create its own healthy adult repair stem cells, you don't need to spend $100,000 or $5,000 or heck, even $500 to do it. Instead, you simply need to add a select handful of superfoods into your diet each day. And in a matter of just weeks, you could be refreshing. Like these are the benefits. So, like what's telling you, like then like this thing that I discovered is so cheap. Like you don't have to spend $100,000 on it. You don't have to spend 5,000. You don't even have to spend $500 on it. But why? Why are we not informed about it? Why is it not on every front page of newspapers in the United States? So he's mentioning the benefits, like these are what you are going to. It sounds amazing, right? Listen to be clear. No one knows yet if supporting your body ability to naturally generate its own repair stem cells produces close to the same result as this super expensive treatment and clinics. But let's be honest here. So now it's telling you like although we are not that sure that all the result of this study carried out by these six South Florida scientists, we don't know if the result is as close to that of this stem cell therapy that this rich guy paid for. But it's not telling you like let's be honest here. Unless you have a stake in the stem cell industry, which is rapidly growing and expected to reach $476 billion in the next 6 years, or you do anything else related to senior citizens. The natural way of supporting your body's own production of stem cells is the worst news imaginable. Any an incomplete list of people who do not want you to know about this discovery. And then these are the list of the common enemy. These are the list of the enemy, like people behind laying embargo on the news of that research. But he said an incomplete. It's telling like there are plenty, but this is just like an incomplete list of them. I can still have a lot to show you. The research labs don't want you to know about this. And one thing they did there, like he's mentioning each people behind this and telling you what they tend to gain to increase the believability. Like you won't be like he's just being dramatic, he's just being dramatic. Like this guy is just being dramatic. All these are lie. If it's telling like since they get billions of dollars in government funding, what happens if it slips that you can increase your body's natural supply of stem cells by adding a few ingredients to your diet? So it's now sound it's now saying it now begin to sound believable. It's now begin to sound like it's now begin to sound like oh this guy is telling the truth. And all these things are facts. Like these people they are going to lose money. That's why they don't want me to know about this natural way of stem cells. Most doctors don't want you to know about this since they know nothing about stem cell therapy and that scares them. They don't want to be on the outside looking in, especially when it's going to strengthen their credibility and picture. This is the reason why doctors don't know. Big pharma, nursing homes, undertakers, even undertakers, like all these guys, since they will see their business tank big time. Pretty much nobody wants you to know about this since they have been planning on squeezing every penny from you until the day you die. Now, of course, you are probably wondering, can flooding your body with pristine brand new adult repair stem cells really be this simple? I will admit it, that's the question I was asking too. So after I had reviewed the University of South Florida study, I directed my team to see if there is any additional research that backed up these findings. I think we were all pretty skeptical as we started digging into the research. Yet to my surprise, my team ultimately came back with a list of over 100 additional studies. So so it's not the only that South Florida research is not the only research that are closed, like they are not like the research they have closed that are not open to the public. We're like, oh wow. So this thing is very, very crazy. So he wants to reveal the product. So he's explaining a lot of things. So at this point we knew what we needed to do. We made a list of every single this is the discovery story like what's happening in the back end. Until ultimately we were left with just five special ingredients we consider to be the cream of the crop when it comes to natural stem cell production. Once we had this ingredient, we went to work creating an advanced nutrient delivery system in the form of a uniquely designed nutritional capsule, something that contains each of those five stem cell activating ingredients in dosage that was supported by scientific studies on them. It's called stem cell restore, like product revelation. So, no, I don't know if it's one of the previous video I dropped on this channel. I said something about you making your prospects salivate before revealing your product. Like you should build stack up this value for your product. So you don't just reveal your product like that. Like you should make them salivate. You should make them want it before revealing it. Like they should have been craving for it crazily before you reveal your product. Like this is what he did here. Like he has been saying a lot of things about stem cells, the benefit of stem cell, how stem cell function, like everything about stem cell to telling us the discovery story of how he discovered this the product he wants to reveal to us. One, I've once been in your shoe story, how his mom died, how his mom loses virility, his agility and all before he revealed the product. So this is the product, stem cell restore, and it represents the next generation in stem cell science. Stem cell restore is breakthrough that finally makes the miracle of adults. So now he has revealed the product. Now let's check other things he did. Each capsule is like a tiny time machine in your hand. Modern science is hot on the trail of breakthrough that gives your body the power to regenerate itself from the inside out. The rich and famous are all over the stem cell breakthrough, paying $25,000 to $100,000 a shot. And now, these tiny capsules are your first chance to benefit from stem cell research in a different but only natural way, instead of paying for an expensive invasive procedure, so that you can stop worrying about getting old, stop obsessing over what will happen to your family after you are gone, stop regretting all of the things you never got to do in life, and start living in a vitalized body every single day. That imagine what it would feel like to suddenly not worry about what old age has in store for you, and having an endless source of energy that propels you head first into these days to come. That's what stem cell restore was designed to help you do. There's absolutely no gluten, no soy, no artificial colors. You know, said this thing is a natural peel. These are the objections like that the prospect might have. Like, hope it doesn't have gluten, hope it doesn't have soy, hope it doesn't have any artificial colors. Then it break all the objections by them like it doesn't have all these things. And everybody is manufactured right here in the United States. And this is another thing. His prospects are America, they are based in the United States, and they are very skeptical. Like they care a lot about what they eat, what they take in. And they want to know if what they are eating or the drug they are taking is made in America. So he's telling them like this thing is made in America. You don't have to be skeptical. And in a state of the art facility that follows the GMP safety standards, stem cells were once considered the future of medicine. Now you can support your body's natural ability to produce them itself. Just one single easy to swallow capsule per day is all it takes. It doesn't matter, it's all it takes. You can take it in the morning with a glass of water, at lunch, in the afternoon, or right before bed. It's then like it's making it easy, it's making the product easy. And then like it's just one easy to swallow capsule. Like it's not huge. You know, some people they have objections about they have difficulty when it comes to swallowing big capsule. So you break the objection like this thing is just one single easy to swallow capsule. I can take it in the morning with a glass of water, at lunch, in the afternoon, or right before bed. It doesn't matter when you take stem cells, just make sure you take it. This is another thing. Like it's making it so easy by telling like by telling the prospect that they don't have to follow one time frame to take it. Like they can take it anytime they want. They should just make sure they take it. Because once you have this little stem cell activity miracle in your hands, it's like watching your body internal clock start clicking in reverse. You grow more energized with every second, every minute, and every single hour. It keeps going this way for the rest of your long, healthy life. There are already thousands of people across the US right now who swear by stem cells restore. So proof, like people have been using it. Like, there are thousands of people across the US using this thing. We are going to hear from them in just a moment. So he wants to include testimonial into this, but he used the hook. I tell you like in just a moment. But first, let me go ahead and share the five stem cell activating ingredients inside stem cell restore. You know, we said after going through different thousands and hundreds of research, and they break down everything into five, and that five is what made up this stem cell restore. So he wants to tell you about the five stem cell activating ingredient now. Stem cell restore breakthrough ingredients. So number one, icarin. So he explained everything about icarin, show different proofs about icarin, and the benefit of icarin. So this is it. He's still talking about this icarin. Yeah, the benefit icarin. Like, these are different image. Yeah, the second ingredient is resveratrol. I think this thing is something. Yeah, yeah. This is one ingredient that's they use in red wine production. This is it. This is the benefit. Benefit, and proof it was published in the journal Nature. He's talking about like all these places, just talking about the ingredients you use. Like you can go through it on your own. I'll drop the link to this copy in the. I'll drop the link to this copy below. So click on it and check it yourself. Like I'm just what I'm doing here is taking you through the emotions he pulled. By then I'm getting into his thought process and telling you a lot of things and dissecting the part of copy and also identify what's it called the pattern you use for the copy. This also the third ingredient used. Third ingredient used. This is the fourth and fifth ingredient. The benefits and how they work. So the future of anti-aging in the palm of your hand. No, he said stem cell is the picture of anti-aging. It's then like you have the future now in your hand, the palm of your hand. So at this point, you are probably asking how you can get your hands on stem cells restore for yourself, along with how often you need to take it for best result. To be honest, I wish it was easier for folks to gain access to this breakthrough because, as I've mentioned repeatedly throughout this report, my goal is to make stem cell restore available to every American possible, especially those who are 50 years of age or older and whose natural supply of stem cells is dwindling and becoming dysfunctional. Yet, while that's my goal, the truth is that because every single bottle of stem cell restore needs to be produced in a pristine state-of-the-art facility, then kept fresh through a special proprietary encapsulation process, which only a few manufacturing facilities in the world are able to do. And so this, he's telling you that the main purpose behind him doing all this research and making this it's because he wants to help people. He's not telling you like although he wants to help everybody, like it's not everybody that can get their hands on this thing. Why? He's not telling you the reason. Like the reason is because he's doing blah 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 in the state of the art facility. So he's using this one to add scarcity to it. Like this thing is scarce. Like it's not something you can just get out there alone. So it take a very long time to produce every single bottle of stem cell store. And with that scarcity is increasing the value of this product by making it seem like I go through a lot of stress before I can get this across to you. So it's increasing the value. Like the prospect of like this thing is something I have to get. So by adding scarcity to it and increasing the value, it is making them want it. Like it's making them want it more. Like they want it. Like this thing is something I just have to get. I want to know what is it and why does it take all this stress before they were able to get it. And because stem cells restore is truly like a time capsule in a bottle, something that allows your body to look and feel the way it was when you were young, while helping to refresh the cells in virtually all of your organs and your tissue and your skin. Pretty much everyone who tries stem cells keeps asking for more of the stuff because they never again want to worry about feeling old or feeling so or having a foggy brain. Stem cell restore is also becoming extremely popular with many in the health profession, which is amazing, but it puts even more of a strain on production. No, you have said it earlier that this thing is not that easy to produce, especially since it takes up to 3 months to custom create each batch. And as a result of the fact that stem cell restore is expensive to manufacture, takes up to 3 months to produce a single batch and keeps selling out. I frequently don't have any stem cell restore available for the public. No, I said it, like he's trying to get into scarcity for the product so you can just get it immediately. And that being said, I also don't want anyone to stay awake each night worrying about what will happen if their bodies and their minds continue to fall apart. So, like, we all know that the main purpose and the main reason that make him to start this agent sort of stuff is because he wants to help people. So he's going back to the thing of that I want to help, I really want to help people, and I don't want people to stay awake at night and worrying about what will happen to their bodies and minds as it continues to fall apart. You know, like that's why which is why in the next few moments, I will share how you can get your hands on a brand new bottle of stem cell restore and how you can try it risk free as part of our breakthrough new pilot program. But first, let me answer that other question. How much another hook? You use another hook there, which is why in the next few moments I will share with you. But before that, so let me answer another question. How much stem cell restore do you need to take? That's simple. So like he wants to reveal how you are going to get it. But before that, he wants to get you to buy no this is something they always do in the health niche when they are most especially when selling supplements. Like they always want you to buy they don't want the prospect to buy just one. Like they want the prospect to buy like 3 bottles or 6 bottles. So now it's asking now that's simple. Just take one capsule each day for at least 30 days. The reason is important that you take stem cell restore for at least 30 days. It's very straightforward. While the five stem cell activating ingredients inside go to work pretty much immediately, what all of those clinical studies have shown us is that the longer you take each of the ingredients inside stem cell restore, the more your body can benefit. For example, as you saw in one study, taking Icarin, number one ingredient inside stem cell restore, increased bone marrow stem cells by a staggering 230%. Like so, like you have get to see it now that every single thing he did in this copy is to help is to help each other. like from one component to another component of the copy. From the component of revealing the product, talking about the product, telling us what the ingredients used in the product. Like he's using everything to build to help each component. Like everything is linking into each other. I don't know if you are getting this thing the way I'm getting it. So he used the product revelation. Now he's going back to the product revelation to tell the prospect like this is the number of um bottle you have to buy to have this desired result you want. But you also like Stefan is a great copywriter. He's someone that it's nice getting into his thought process. Like even with the way I've been explaining and talking about it, there are still some things he did in this copy that I know that I won't be able to get into it. Taking a heroin for a full 12 months was shown to increase the lifespan and health span of mammals. I think all of us would like to live a longer, healthier, more energized life for years to come. So it just makes sense taking stem cell restore day after day and month after month. Especially since the most stem cell restore cost is a few pennies per day. More on that in a second. Another hook. And this is why we recommend that you choose at least 3 bottles of stem cell restore at a time and 5 bottles if you want to be completely safe. Then take it for a period of at least 90 days. Now I said it, they will always want you to buy 3 bottles or 5 or 6 bottles. Like they don't want you to just buy one. So that's what he's doing here. That way you can absolutely guarantee you've done everything you can to support your body. Because the US, people are calling themselves breakthrough a gift from God. And today this is your golden opportunity to join them. We suffered the real life stem cell restore users. And here's what they have to say. These are testimonials. Those testimonials you just heard are only a few of the vast number I'm receiving each month about stem cell restore. And you should know that this stem cell activating breakthrough is only available on this website. You can't get it anywhere. This thing is scarce. You can't get it anywhere. You can only get it here on this website. While there are supplies in stock and I'm available to keep this report online, the truth is there are many in big medicine who hate what I'm doing. They plan on making trillions, yes, trillions of dollars off of people like us as we grow old. And they view stem cell restore as an existential threat, something that could take away their private jets, their yachts, their exotic beach homes, that could make them find a new career path altogether. I'm trying to fight these people and their lawyers off. It's an uphill battle. So when he talked about his common like the enemy, like people that are against what he has been doing earlier, and how he's talking about them now. Like he's all the main purpose of all these things, like he's using it to build capacity. And he wants you to act urgently. He doesn't want you to procrastinate or taking the action. Like he wants the prospect to act immediately. This is the thing, like this is the main reason behind all the things he's doing. This is the thought process behind him talking about this common enemy, common enemy, common enemy. It's vital that you don't put this decision off. Using stem cell recovery can feel like you've just hit the rewind button on your life. The primary one is rewinding your aging process. Something that lets you travel back in time to make up for lost opportunities, to get a second chance. Every day you take your single capsule of stem cell restore. It's another day of living life without regret because you've taken a huge important step to make sure you have both the physical and mental energy. This what you did here is future pacing. Like you haven't got the prospect haven't got the product yet. Like they have not even buy it. But he's telling them like every day you take your single capsule of stem cell restore. It's another day of living life without regret because you've taken a huge like all these are future pacing. Like he's future pacing them facing them into the future. Like this is what is going to happen. It's more like him getting them to imagine how life is going to be after buying this console store. You can probably understand why my board of directors was adamant that I set the price of this breakthrough at $249, which honestly I think is fair, especially considering the rich pay up to $100,000 for one course of stem cell therapy treatment. So, yeah, like this is full price and coverage. You know what he has been doing since morning is just doing that price and coverage something, but he's doing it openly now. This isn't about making profit for me or my team. And it's not like he would like to sell it for $249 too, just as his board of directors has advised him to. But the main purpose behind him selling this stem cell restore is just to help people. Like it is not to make profit. All these are lie. We all know that you want to make profit. But this is like this is the thought process behind it. Like, you know, he has said like he wants to help people after his mom dead. Like he wants to help other people. Like he doesn't want every other person to experience the things his mom experienced before she later died. So instead, it's about fulfilling a promise I made to myself years ago after I lost my mother. I know what it's like to see the people you love grow old in front of your eyes, the pain you feel inside. Like, trying to empathize with them now. Like you're showing empathy. Like all these ones are empathy. I already lost my mom. I don't want to lose you. Which is why if you decide to take action right now and say yes to the scientific and miracle that that is stem cell restore, you won't need to spend $249 for a bottle or even 149 price breakdown. And why instead, by taking action today, you can order stem cell restore for just 249 for just $667 per bottle. And that's actually just the start. Because just for trying stem cell restore, you I will send you a free subscription. Like this is offer, like more like bonuses. This is offer, you're getting into this offer. Once a week, you will receive all original engaging articles direct to your inbox. Our crack team of editors, writers, and researchers bring you the latest cutting edge breakthroughs in anti-aging science as well as obscure yet powerful age defying secrets from around the world. Little known insider tips, offer, all these offer, these are crazy offers. Because so many of the studies show that the longer you take the ingredients that stem cells restore, the more you could benefit from them. And because so many people have been ordering multiple bottles of stem cell at that time, that way they can share them with their family and friends as well. My team and I have created an even better discount program where right now where you when you stock up on 5 bottles of stem cell restore, not only will you save $100, and not only will you get free shipping at a $8.95 value, I will send you an extra bottle for free, which is another $67 value at a no cost to you. You see, these are the options. Yeah. You are going to get, if you buy 5 bottles, you are going to get one free plus free shipping. I with all the bonus like the e-letter I said you promise to be sending you like everything. Save up to $100, get one free bottle. All these things like it stack up the value and the total value, everything amounts to 235. This is CTA, $235. But wait oh, how did they calculate all these things? Okay, the value of the bonus you be getting, like the value of the bonus you be getting is I don't get how this guy did this calculation, but that's just the CTA plus that's still not all because when you take advantage of our 5 bottle test deal today, we also get you exclusive bonuses valued at $444.85. Absolutely free. Like these are bonuses. Like so far it's a crazy one. As you make yourselves genetically 10 years younger, bonus. And one thing about this bonus, if you notice like this bonus, they are related to the product you're selling. Like he's not selling cement and giving salt as a bonus. Like he's selling something, he's selling a stem cell stuff that helps to rewind aging process, and he's also giving bonuses that also helps with this process stuff. So just to sum up what you are getting with the 5 bottle best deal today, it includes this also the rundown, like the value rundown. This special bottle only available while supplies of stem cell restore are in stock, which means urgency and scarcity. CTA. Others has also come with money back guarantee, like another thing that is going to increase the value of it. It works like this. Simply click what will happen after clicking the link. Yeah. Mm, yeah. So this is like more like false close. Like it's closing. Like push and close. You can ignore everything you've seen today. The incredible position that they blah. Telling us you can ignore everything. If that's the choice you make, do not take action today, then there is no hard feelings. And I wish you all the best. But just think about what life will be in a few months. And like if you don't take action now, it's more like I'm telling you them that if you don't take action now, nothing is going to change. But if you take action, a lot is going to change. Don't you think back to this moment when you had saw an opportunity to take care of yourself or your loved ones, but you refuse to take the action. I strongly urge you to take that second counterpart, which is say yes, stem cell restore right now. To click the button that says start my order and claim your supply of this cutting edge breakthrough while it is available to the public and while I do have bottles on hand. Your decision today is covered by a full 90-day, 100% money back guarantee. So you truly have nothing to lose and an entire new body to gain. Ultimately, the decision is yours, but I trust you will make the right choice. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I look forward to hearing about your successes in STEM solution. God bless you. Liwila, President, blah, 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 City. So these are the FAQs. These are the FAQs. These are the FAQs. So let's go back to the beginning of this copy and to check out the pattern he used to write the copy. So I should have get into the main thing of this copy, like get into every single word. But this copy is a very long one, and getting into everything, we might not finish the recording today. We might not finish the video today. That's why I just decided to skim some parts. But I believe with what I did, you should understand every thought process behind it. And if you need to read more about the copy, I've dropped the link to it below. So click on the link below to get into the copy. So to familiarize yourself with different things he did in the copy. So for the pattern he used the headline. After the headline, he went to talk about the benefits. After talking about the benefits, he talked about the belief. That part where he was talking about even if you're breaking your aging process is because you've been smoking or unhealthy diet. After that, he moved into talking about what stem cell is, how stem cells function. Then he went into talking about the product itself, product evaluation. Before talking about the unique mechanism of the unique mechanism of the product, we went to talk about the benefit again. After talking about the benefit, we talk about different things like the background story, the discovery story, what's happening in back end, and we talk about the common enemy and a lot of things. Like he did a lot of things in the copy. So if you are just watching this for the first time, please make sure you subscribe, and if you learn something new, please like. And if you are subscribing for the first time, turn on your notification button so you can get notified when I drop a new video. Thank you.